Bonjour, this is Today. Welcome back to ENCA. It's the eve of the opening ceremony of the Commonwealth Games in the United Kingdom. South Africa is one of 72 nations and territories taking part. However, the recent World Athletics Championships demonstrated a lackluster performance from the track and field team Athletics South Africa, who holds the most medals at the Commonwealth Games. Having said that, joining us to unpack the matter at hand is former South African and African sprints champion Geraldine Pillay, who also medaled at the Commonwealth Games back in 2006. Very good afternoon, Geraldine. So it's lovely to speak to you. I mean, what is the explanation for the South African track and field team not medaling at the World Champs with so many strong names present? Mind you, we also did not medal as much at the African Champs.
Yes, it's very unfortunate that Team South Africa was faced with a lot of logistical issues leading up to the World Championships in Oregon. Some of the team members arrived 24 hours before the event. So yeah, it's actually very sad that our team did not live up to the expectation. Unfortunately, Akani, again, a fifth in the final, which is still a very good feat. But I think by now, we would have expected him to win a medal. Our relay teams didn't do as we anticipated. Leading up to the World Championships 2 years ago, they won the World Athletics Series in relays. Wade van der Kamp was back after 5 years of absolutely not being competitive. He was back in the final, and I think he was happy with the fifth position. But as South Africans, we have been spoiled, medals, world records, and national records, and unfortunately, this time, our team did not live up. However, they still did very well individually. We had some, personal bests that were run. We had an area record by our in Snyman, and the youngsters that were in the team also did very well. So hopefully by the next World Championships or by the Olympic Games, they will definitely bring back something.
Well, they still have the Commonwealth Games to go through, Geraldine, and at the Commonwealth Games we are ranked 6th on the all-time medals table, with the track and field team boasting, of course, more than half of those medals. How do you think we shall do in Birmingham?
South Africa has always done very well at the Commonwealth Games, and I really, really think coming off the back of the World Championships, I think our athletes had enough time to recover, enough time to rest, and yes, and I think their clocks will be reset now, to time that they are used to, like a time zone. Birmingham, it's probably just an hour behind South Africa, or hour ahead, I'm not too sure, but historically, Team South Africa has always done very well. In 2018, down in the Gold Coast, we came home with a lot of medals. The 100 meters, we had Akani Simbini, we had Henrico Brenkis there, and I really do think that our athletes will redeem themselves, if I can put it that way, at the Commonwealth Games, and will do Team South Africa and the country proud.
All right, Geraldine, South Africa is the #1 African team with medals. Do you see us maintaining this feat in Birmingham? I know that we're positioned 6th in the all-times medals, and Kenya, who is a force to reckon with on the continent, is all the way down in position 8.
Well, I really do think that we are going to be a force to be reckoned with. We cannot really, forget about the host nation. They always come in strong, especially when they are hosting. But I really do think, as far as our swimmers, our athletes, our gymnasts, the rowers, I really do think that we will retain our position, a top position on the medal tally. Our athletes had enough time to acclimatize, to the weather in Birmingham. Like I say, the time zone is not that much of a difference. So I really do think that our athletes will do well. And like I say, historically, as a country, in all the sporting codes at the Commonwealth Games, we have always done well. And there were always like some big surprise.
Yes. Go on, Geraldine. Yeah, you did speak about surprises, from Team South Africa. Yes, go on.
Yes, we've always seen some athletes come through the ranks, and especially when it matters most. And and at a Commonwealth Games, which is part of a cycle for the Olympic Games, it's always very good to measure yourself against, competition that you would later on in the, in the Olympic Games and later on in the World Championships meet up with. So I really do think that, especially the team that will travel from Eugene, Oregon, coming off, like I say, the World Championships now, where the competition was very tough, with the Americans and all of that, and the Jamaicans. I don't think Jamaica is going to send their A team, but nevertheless, they will still be very competitive. And I do think that Team South Africa, like I say, it's now they have another chance to redeem themselves. And it's the first time that we have a World Championships just before a Commonwealth Games, It could be a good thing. It could be a good thing. And it could be, like I say, another opportunity for Team South Africa to redeem themselves.
All right, you mentioned Team Jamaica. It was a 1-2-3 at the World Champs for the ladies. Who is the next generation of SA women sprinters? I mean, since the last formidable ones include Karina Horn, Tamsin Thomas, Alyssa Conley, Tebogo Mamatu, and Bevan Smith. Yes,
unfortunately, we only had Karina Horn at the World Championships this time around. She had a fantastic season, on the Diamond League circuit. Unfortunately, she was one of the athletes that was stranded in Italy due to visa complications for a very long time and could not really maintain her form. And I'm really hoping that this time around at the Commonwealth Games, she will get an opportunity, to bring home some gold medals, for South Africa in the sprint. We do have Miranda Kutsia at the African Championships. She was the surprise winner in the 400 meters, and I really do think that, come Commonwealth Games, she will be able to, to showcase and her athletic prowess, and the reason why she was crowned the African champion over 400. Also a formidable youngster in the 100-meter hurdles. Unfortunately, she failed to make it through to the final, ran a PB. So I say, even though we didn't win medals in Oregon, we had a lot of personal best, a lot of seasonal best.
Yes.
So I do think that is going to stand them in good stead at the Commonwealth Games.
All right, Geraldine, the field stars are not given much of the spotlight, yet they are consistent than the rest. The Raswell Samai and Ishka Senekal, who really did well at the African Champs. Why are the field athletes always left in the dark, so to speak?
Unfortunately, TV coverage as well. It's always the 100, it's always the 400, and the focus is always there because that's where we, it's the champagne event of any competition. But yes, Raswell, he's a veteran. He's a veteran athlete. He's been around very long time, has won Commonwealth Game medals. And I really do think that he would like to spoil himself with a gold medal this time around. Unfortunately, there's no Luba Manyonga. So we only have, Raswell Samai there to fly the flag very high. And also Ishka, I feel very sorry for our field event athletes because they don't get the coverage and they don't get the hype like the track and field. But when they do win medals, we are definitely going to hype them up.
All right, Geraldine, final words to Team South Africa ahead of the opening ceremony in Birmingham.
Well, guys, just go out there, do your best. We are behind you. I think Banyana has set the tone, for the rest of the South Africans competing at international level. And I really hope that we can ride that wave and that we can just continue with that victorious, victory. And just wherever you are, in the water, on land, on the track, high jump, whatever it is that you're doing, do know that there are millions of South Africans here at home watching, supporting, and rooting for you.
Fantastic, Geraldine. Always lovely to speak to you about athletics and the World Championships and Commonwealth Games. That was former South African and African champion in the women's 200 meters, Geraldine Pillay, on the revival needed by South Africa's track and field team ahead of the Commonwealth Games.